Hello, everyone. How's it going? I hope everybody's doing all right. My name is Armin. I am a co-founder of Hexact, the team that brought you Hexomatic. I'm here with Chris, my colleague, who is also a co-founder. I usually handle the biz dev side of things. Chris is more of the marketing and CMO guru, and we're happy that you guys can make it to our webinar today. We're going to cover two topics on the agenda, as you guys know. We're going to do a little bit of B2B lead gen, a little bit of AI on top of that, and I'll show you how I run my own workflows and how I do outreach personally using Hexomatic. And I'm going to hand it off to Chris, and Chris is going to handle more scraping, article scraping, again, running it through AI and just the different functionalities that you can do with that. We're not going to take questions at the moment. If we do have time, we will take questions at the end. This will be 30 minutes on the nose. But don't worry, I'm going to send you over the Hexomatic demo link so that if any questions do pop up along the way, you can click on that demo link, request the demo, and then we'll have like a 30-minute session only for you to answer all of your questions in detail and kind of go through the process of your specific use case. So we're going to get jumping right in, talking a little bit about B2B lead generation. So when you open up Hexomatic, this is what you're going to see. Dashboard, standard, not too much stuff. Obviously, I'm running a bunch of workflows here on the bottom. You'll see your own workflows here that's going. And from here, when I want to do B2B lead gen, the easiest way to find it is there is a ready-to-go template. So you don't have to kind of do it yourself. So you just have to jump into the template, plug in your parameters, and then go. So how we're going to do that is I'm just going to click on this Show All Templates button right here in the middle. This is going to take me to the Workflow Templates page. From here, there's a bunch of different templates. From here, I'm just going to top marketing, research, sales, ChatGPT. So what kind of template are you looking for? From here, I'm just going to click on sales. B2B lead gen is part of sales, understandably. And there's a whole bunch of sales stuff here. And on the right side on the bottom here, you'll see find the B2B leads from Google Maps. I really like scraping leads from Google Maps because it is precise and it's much more precise than just a random Google search. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a moment. So here on find B2B leads from Google Maps, I'm going to close that up. There's two tasks that we're giving to the bot, Google Maps and an email discovery. And obviously we can do plus side and add more and more tasks, for the bot to run through and the automation to run through. At the moment, so I opened up Google Maps. Now I want to go into the Google Maps database and specifically search for my target group. So for this keyword right here, you're going to be putting in your own target group, the type of companies that you're targeting. You could even put a region in here as well if you want. So this would be exactly like searching on Google Maps. Okay. So right now I'm just going to write, for example, my target group is fintech company in Los Angeles, for example. I'm going to say results. How many results do I want? Right now, I'm only going to put 10 just so I can show you really quick what that would look like, the output. But of course, you can scale this up to all the way up to 700. So each run, you could take 700 results. Devices, desktop, mobile, I'm keeping on desktop, Windows. These are the defaults. Country, I'm just going to keep it for the US for now, but I'll show you how that coordinates work in a moment. Just to go into the nitty gritty of it. But right now, just broad spectrum. I'm looking for a fintech company in Los Angeles. So scrape all the information you have about fintech companies in Los Angeles. Bring me the first 10 results. Great. So that's step number one. Step number two is now I want Hexomatic to go into all 10 of these companies' websites. And I want to scrape the email addresses from their website. And that's what we call email discovery. So how email discovery works is very simple. Now that Google Maps is going to run and find the first 10, on top of that plus sign, I'm going to add email discovery. Email discovery is always going to ask you for a source. So where am I finding these websites? Here, Maps domain. So whatever domain they put here is going to be here. So whatever website they put on Google Maps will be their website. And the bot will go into their website and find all of the email addresses that's on that site. Right now, how many email addresses do you want per domain? You can go all the way up to 20. So it could find 20 different email addresses from the same website, from the same company. In this case, again, I'm just going to keep it at 5 just so I can show you an example. But again, you can scale this up. So hypothetically, you can put 700 results on Google Maps and 20 emails per result. So again, hypothetically, you can get 700 times 20 email addresses in one run. But most likely, you're not going to get all of those different results. Some of them will be not found. Some of you won't find email addresses or have less email addresses than 20. Last but not least, filter condition. If you want to add a filter, I usually don't. If I do, I would do like contains, for example, info or media or PR or careers, right? The sort of quote unquote throwaway emails that a lot of these companies will have and be posted on their site. These are not the emails I'm looking for, so I would kind of filter them out. But for now, I'm just going to select condition. I won't put a filter so that you can see the purest form of results before we move into something a little bit more specific. So once again, quick recap, Google Maps. I'm looking for a fintech company in Los Angeles. I just want the first 10 results. United States is the country. And I'm running an email discovery on top to scrape those email addresses and pull 5 per domain. Continue on the bottom right corner, run now. Basically, I already have that name. Let's just call that 12. I run this a lot. That's why you have to rename my workflows. And I'm going to click on continue and run now. So this is the basics of B2B lead gen. This is just the bread and butter, what you need to do as a first step. And then we can add more complexity on top. So that we don't wait until this process takes about 3 to 4 minutes on average. I've run multiple of these, but just so we don't have to wait, I'm going to show you what that looks like. On the bottom here, I have Hexact B2B lead gen. I ran the same exact process, so identical to what we were looking for. I ran fintech companies in Los Angeles, and then I was giving an output. And I just want to show you what that output would look like. So here it is, Hexact B2B lead gen, export results. Google Sheets, unrolls to load. And this is what the output's going to look like. So on the far left corner here on A1, maps keywords. So we wrote fintech company in Los Angeles. Here are the first 10 results, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down to 10. I blocked it at 10. Again, you can go all the way up to 700 in one run if you want. It found this is the domain. So the company website, that's the company name. Ionics Technologies, Copentech, Seek Business Capital, FinTech LLC, Invest Cloud, MoneyBrag, and so on. So these are the companies it found. Those are their websites. And if I just go along this top here, B, C, D, E, F, you'll see that all of them starts with maps, right? Maps rank, maps absolute, maps domain, maps title, maps URL, maps snippet, and so on. So everything that you see on the top here, all the way to AA, column AA, all of that is data that's being pulled specifically from Google Maps, okay? Just to show you what that looks like in real life, this first one, Ionics Technologies. So if I go to Google Maps and I put fintech company in Los Angeles, say I search the same exact thing, it popped up the red little dots that you can see, so Los Angeles area. It brought Ionics Technologies, Copentech, FinTech LLC, Magento, Invest Cloud. So it's the same list as you just saw on the Excel sheet. And everything you see on this Ionics Technologies page, so if I click on that little red button, it has the address, opening hours, the website, phone number. So everything that you're seeing here, even this picture here, all of this is basically being scraped and downloaded into this one row, right? So the address, financial district, what district it's in, zip code, California, US. It has the phone number right there. The picture, that would be the picture. It has the category. And so on and so forth, the coordinates. And then all the way to this AA would be the maps. Now, AB, it already doesn't say maps, it says discovered email. So this is the email discovery running on top of it. So this is sort of robot task 2. So here it went into the website, in this case, ionixtech.com, and it scraped that website for email addresses. Again, I only put 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, exactly. If I put 20, it would have probably continued and found all of the email addresses are up to 20. I stopped it at 5 just so I could show you the example. Now, these 5 email addresses are from that site. And then here's the second row, Copenhagen, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, and all the way down to the 10th. Now, this bottom one, for example, this last one, there is no email address because it didn't find an email address. And the reason is because this shadow bid does not have a website, or at least it does not have a website that's listed on Google Maps. So it couldn't go into the website, so it didn't find the email addresses. These types of things are going to happen if they're not listed. If you look at column AC, email verified, what basically that means is it's taking this email address and automatically verifying it. This is part of the email discovery automation. So when you're running that one task, it'll do both of these at the same time. True means that it's verified, those emails exist. So this is ready to roll. So this is sort of the bread and butter and the gist of it, of how it's finding these email addresses, how we're finding our target group using the keywords. Now, I'm going to add a little layer of complexity to this just to get things a little bit more interesting. So the next layer of complexity is coordinates. So let's say you're looking for fintech companies, but you're not looking in all of Los Angeles area, but you're looking at Los Angeles financial district. If you look at this red box here on Google Maps, that is the finance district in Los Angeles. So let's assume that that's the box you're looking for. And this could be obviously anywhere in the US or anywhere in the world. As long as you can move your Google Maps to that specific position, you can always search for the box that I'm seeing on my screen here. In this case, I'm looking at the financial district. You can put this on any district. So how you would run that is, again, you would open up your workflow. You would start with Google Maps and then email discovery. So there we go. Google Maps and email discovery. In this case, I don't need to type in Los Angeles, the word. I can just type fintech company because I'm giving it a specific location. I'm just going to do results 1 to 5 so you can see the results quicker. In this case, instead of country here, I'm going to click on the coordinates button. It's going to ask me for the latitude and longitude and the zoom. So there's 3 inputs I need to give. A very easy way to find those inputs is you go to Google Maps, you find the screen that you want. So whatever screen that you want to search, whatever part of the world that you want to search. And as soon as you're okay with the box that you're seeing, on the top and on the URL, all the way up here, there's a bunch of letters and numbers and random stuff. But usually it always starts from the left side, which it has googlemaps.com/place. It has your parameters, what you put in. So I just search financial district, Los Angeles. And then it has the little @ and it has the coordinates. So these coordinates right here, basically you just take them, copy the first number, put them in latitude, copy the second number with the negative mark, with the minus, paste that into longitude. And the zoom says between 3 and 21. That's how Google Maps works. And the zoom is just the next number over. It always has a Z next to it, 16Z. In this case, it's 16. Like if I go minus and I go out 1, that will become 15. So it's just asking how zoomed in do you want it. Let's say this box is good for me, so 16Z. And I'll just put the 16 number here. So again, fintech company, now it's only going to search for the financial district, that little box that we found. And then I'm running the same exact thing. Find the email addresses, buy per limit, run now. That's simple. I want to show you the results from that. So here it is, Hexomatic lead gen coordinates. I open that up. So it's basically the same idea, except now I can be even more targeted to a specific area or a specific region on the map where I'm looking for. So in this case, if I look at the district here, financial district, City West Financial, Financial, City West Financial, Financial. So all of it is within that box, within that parameter that I set. So it's finding it even more targeted. In this case, Ionics Technologies popped up again because they're in the financial district, and all of the other ones are already different because they were not in that district. And again, running the same idea, running the same email discovery on the side here, just looking for email addresses. Okay, so that's sort of the easy peasy part of it. This is how you get the emails. Now, once you have the emails, you need to write emails. These outreach emails need to be hyper-personalized. The more personalized they are, the more likelihood there is that they'll click on the link, they'll go to the next step, and you can actually generate a lead from that. So what I do here is I actually use ChatGPT on this. either ChatGPT, you can use Bard if you prefer that. I use Bard on one of them. I use ChatGPT on the other, just so we can see the difference. But I really like the ChatGPT, especially since we just integrated the Turbo version into Hexomatic, and the Turbo version works seamlessly with this. So how this works is very straightforward. Again, I'm going to open the same thing. It always starts from the same thing. I'm going to scrape Google Maps, and then I'm going to look for their email address. Now, on top of this, I want ChatGPT to write a personalized email for every single one of those companies, right? For every single company that I'm scraping off of Google Maps. But in order to do that, I need to feed ChatGPT some sort of information about this company to get that, to get it really hyper-personalized. So how I do that is, the first thing that I do is I press a little plus button here. So I already have the Google Maps set, fintech company. I already have email discovery set, ready to go. So right now, I could just add ChatGPT here, but I do want to give them an extra layer of input. So what I do is I had an SEO meta tag scraper. So SEO meta tag, source, I'm going to give it the same, maps domain, just like email discovery, maps domain, maps domain. So this is going to go into those companies' websites, and it's going to scrape their SEO meta tags specifically. And if I open this up, I always do meta description, because usually in their SEO meta description, it's something about their company. And then I also like to add keywords. I just wanted to understand which keywords are mostly used, so I can use the same keywords in my email and make sure that the email is much more engaging, right? So it's going to pull the SEO meta tags. And then from here, I would go into ChatGPT. ChatGPT 4 Turbo. In this case, I'm giving input. So what is the source? I want you to take the meta description and the keywords, and then I'm going to write the prompt, write a short, personalized email to the company above about selling cloud services, for example, or whatever your product might be, or whatever you're trying to sell, okay? So it's going to take this meta description of keywords from the SEO meta tags. It's going to plug it into ChatGPT, and then it's going to plug in this prompt as well, right? So write a short personalized email to the company above about selling cloud services. And then I would do update and run, and then I would run that again. So what this looks like as an output is something like this. So the first columns are going to be identical. It's just a straight up scrape of fintech companies. So Ionics Technologies, for example, right? We already know this, C Capital and so on. And then all the way at the end here is going to be the email addresses as usual. But now I have this ChatGPT on top of that, right? So like, for example, for Ionics Technologies, I hope this email finds you well. I've had the opportunity to develop into an impressive repertoire of custom software and IT solutions that Ionics Technologies provide for the fintech, health tech, design, and Web3 industries. The innovative applications are developed using blockchain, cloud, and AI technology, fully standard. So this is 100% hyper-personalized to that specific company based on the data that we fed into ChatGPT from their SEO meta description and from their keywords. And then you can kind of read through that. Even the offering is kind of very specialized. Now, this might be a little bit long. You might want to edit it, but that's something understandable that you can do later. I just want to show you like the second one, just so you can see like the actual difference in this. I hope this email finds you well. I recently read about CopenTech's innovative approach to streamlining, refinancing, and auction services for CLOs. I'm impressed with the automation efficiency you bring to institutional credit investors. It's clear that, so already even in that first paragraph, you can see that the first company email, the second company email are hyper different, and they're very personalized. But again, I'm still offering cloud. So our cloud services are tailored to enhance. And on the top email, again, it's cloud services. So we're selling cloud services again. Our cloud services were designed to enhance the performance and scale of the fintech and health tech applications we provide. So again, these types of things is what makes that email just pop even more. So the Google Maps plus email discovery will give you the quantity, and it'll just fill in leads. And then this added little nuance of ChatGPT that adds a super huge layer of personalization, just adds that little bit of cream on top that just really pushes your outreach to the next level. That's it for outreach, guys. I'm going to pass it along to Chris and let him take over a little bit and talk a little bit more about article scraping and so on.
Awesome. Thank you, Armand. That was really interesting. Hey, guys. Thank you very much for joining us for this webinar. So for my segment, what I want to do is talk briefly about how we can leverage web scraping to create content at scale. Now, ChatGPT is really powerful. The only problem is that it's very much a sequential process. You go onto the ChatGPT interface and you type in different prompts and you have to wait for stuff to happen and then you keep on going. Essentially, it's great to work on smaller projects, but if you want to do things at scale, this is where Hexomatic can really make a difference. So I'm just gonna start sharing my screen. I'm gonna walk you through a few ideas. Hold on, let me see. Okay, so first up, what I'm gonna show you is how to create a very simple workflow that extracts the sitemap from an entire website. So for this example, what we're going to do is we're going to go on the Hexomatic blog. Here you can find all our articles. And what we're going to do is we're going to find the sitemap. So typically, if you go on any website, if you type in /sitemap XML, you'll essentially get a page like this. In our case, we're going to find the post sitemap, and this will give us all the articles from our website. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to create a very simple workflow. We're going to use the sitemap extractor, and we're going to provide that URL. We leave all the options as they are. We're just going to name this get article URLs from sitemap, and we're just going to run it now. This is going to take a few seconds to do. And essentially what Hexomatic is going to do, I'm just going to download this now, is it went through the sitemap and it basically saved all the URLs in a convenient Google Sheets format. I'm just going to wait for this to load up. Okay, here we go. So these are all the articles we have. Now, what do we do with these articles? The next part, what we can do is we can use Hexomatic to scrape all these articles to get the content. Now, this is something that ChatGPT used to do at some point. They enabled URL scraping, but then they disabled it. But even back then, it was a sequential process. You would have to request one URL, and then it would try and get the data, and then you'd have to wait for it to come back. With Hexomatic, you could essentially do this at crazy scale. So I'm just going to create a new workflow. And for this workflow, we're going to use a data input. Just to illustrate this, I'm just going to copy paste a couple of the URLs that we collected. And then I'm going to add the article scraper. Here we go. And I'm just going to name this scrape all articles from a list of URLs. Now, this automation is really awesome because what it does, it essentially captures the content part of any page and it works universally. So it doesn't require a specific scraping recipe to work. It essentially gets your title and it gets the article content, which means that you can use this to capture any blog posts, news articles, press releases, you name it. So I'm just gonna run this. And this is, usually it takes like a few minutes to run. I'm just gonna open one which I did earlier. Let me see. I have this one. And here, essentially, what this workflow did, I provided the entire list of URLs that we had connected before, and Hexomatic went and collected all the titles. We have the titles here. We have the content from each article, and we have the dates. Now, as you can imagine, if you do this on a competitor's website or on a specific niche website, you can collect a ton of data, which you can then further analyze using, say, ChatGPT. Now, for our next step, what we're going to do is we're going to take this list of URLs that we connected from the sitemap. We're then going to get the content that we collected from the article scraper, and then we're going to ask ChatGPT to do some cool stuff for us. So let's create a quick workflow. So let's start with a data input. We're going to put in a list of URLs, and we get the list of URLs here. There we go. Then I'm going to put the article scraper, which we had beforehand. And now I'm going to use ChatGPT. Now, as Orban said, we recently added ChatGPT for children. The great thing about this particular model is that it has a huge 128K context window. What this means is that ChatGPT is able to process about up to like 250 to 280 pages of content. So if you provide ChatGPT with a scraped article, it's going to be able to understand the entire length of the content, which before there used to be a limitation of, say, 4K or 16K token windows. So this is really good. And in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to use the title of the article, and we're going to use the text of the article that we scraped, and we're going to use a custom prompt. So in this case, let's see, let's ask ChatGPT to create a short social media post, for example, like something for Twitter. So in this case, I'm just going to add a prompt like act as a marketing professional writing in US English with an approachable writing style that will appeal to, say, marketers, marketing agencies, and e-commerce businesses. And I'm also going to ask ChatGPT to write at a 7th grade reading level. I find that being really specific in the prompts help shape the content to make it much more relevant to what my target audience would expect. Also, a 7th grade reading level is usually universally seen as optimal if you want people to stick around and for folks to convert on your content. Otherwise, sometimes ChatGPT can be a little bit too specific, use certain terms which may not resonate or may not be understood by your target audience. Next, we can ask ChatGPT to create content based on this content. So again, I'm going to use the article creator title and the text. And in this case, what we can do is we can say, ask ChatGPT to write a detailed article based on the content that we scraped. Now, you could use this to, for example, research factual content from a certain website. You can use it to repurpose content from your own websites, or you can also use it to, say, perform some analysis or content based on, say, a competitor's website, which you can then tweak and change and use it to provide to your writers to, make new content without spending too much time researching it. Next, let's add another task for ChatGPT. Let's ask it to maybe summarize the article. So again, I'm going to use the same source, and I'm going to just ask ChatGPT to summarize this. So here, what we're essentially doing is we're getting a list of URLs from the sitemap of a website. So I'm just using a data input, but you could also use the sitemap extractor like I did beforehand. Next, we're using the article scraper, which automatically scrapes the article of a URL. Then we're asking ChatGPT to create a social media post for our content. So in this case, we have, say, I don't know, 200 posts, 200 articles, sorry, and we're going to create 200 social media posts. We're going to create some content, and we're going to create some summaries. So this is probably going to take a little while to run. So I'm going to show you one which I ran earlier. Let me see. I think it's this one. Look, here we go. So this is the same workflow which I ran earlier. This took about an hour, I think, to run. It ran on about, I think, just under 200 URLs. So here, for example, we have this article that Hexomatic scraped. It was like a guide to 20 ways to scrape a website. A big article. Next, we have ChatGPT creating a social media post. So unlock the full potential of web scraping for your business with Hexomatic. No coding required. Gather data effortlessly out, run your competition. Next, ChatGPT created a new article based on that content. And then ChatGPT also created a summary. So let me just copy this into a Google Doc, and just so that we can read it, it'll be easier to read. So here we have 242 pages of content. Let me just check the word count. So that's 92,104 words. And here's our content. So we have feature-length articles created based on factual content that we scraped from our website. And we can also use, we also have a ready-made social media posts that we can load into our favorite social media schedulers. And we also have summaries, which we can use if we're doing any type of social media marketing. If you want to be, say, a thought leader in a specific space, you can use summarization to share news, to simplify ideas that you find on articles. So that was this workflow. So I did this in 3 separate steps, but you could also create it in one workflow. So in one workflow, you could have the sitemap extractor combined with the article scraper combined with ChatGPT. And that just gives you one big file. So yeah, I hope you found this useful. For us, it's a great research tool. So when we have, when we're looking for new ideas for creating content, we'll add a couple of our competitors, thought leaders in our space, scrape their articles, ask ChatGPT to summarize, pick out key ideas. And then we can feed this to our content writing team, who can then, add bulk and do further research. And this can cut down the amount of time that it takes to generate content. Alternatively, you can also use ChatGPT straight away to just create the content for you, depending on what your strategy is. Armin, shall I share the? Are you going to take over the screen?
Yeah. So thank you very much, guys, for joining us. I tried to answer everybody as much as I could in the chat. A bunch of people answered a bunch of questions. So one last time, the most important thing is if you do have any questions and you want to go more in detail into your specific use case, we are more than happy to do so and spend some time on kind of going through what you might need and see how we can help. I'm posting the demo link once more in the chat right now. There it is. So just click on that demo link, book your time, and we'll have like a one-on-one session. And we'll try to, see what we can do for you and, kind of go more into the details and answer all the questions. We're a little bit over time, so we won't take any more questions, but thank you very much for joining us. Of course, we've recorded the session and I'll email you out this recording very soon. So thank you very much for joining us.